Welcome everyone to Neverwinter on PC. My name is Rainer and today I will be releasing, well, it's on the screen so it's not really a surprise, but it's a new version of the Neverwinter Character Builder Plus. And as usual, we'll go through the change tracker for that. So, it's been a while since I released the last version. It was end of June, start of July. So yeah, some of these things I updated quite long ago. I just didn't get to releasing a version. So the first item on the list, the Paladin Auras. I had an issue in the Combat Simulator, basically a copy-paste issue. Where are they? They are in external buffs. So basically when you clicked one of these auras, it would just take the aspect of the pack instead. So these would not give you the correct bonus. So yeah, that was wrong. Now these will actually work. Then this was actually already in a previous version, but I forgot to mention it. The combat log analyzer actually will detect dragon hunts now. Maybe some people have noticed that in the last couple of months. Because it already did that, but if you have the combat log analyzer active, you connect it to the live server, you enable the combat log in the game, then you will see it make an encounter once you go into a dragon hunt, and once you're done, then the encounter ends. And every time you go into a new dragon hunt, you will get a new encounter. Really nice to group up your content, as it also does for Tower of the Mad Mage, Zariel, Crown of Caldegon, Vault of Stars, and I'm jumping ahead, but also now for Tiamat. Actually splits it up in something like 7 phases. I'll show you in a second. Then the glowing restoration ring. A lot of people mentioned that one, so I fixed that one. Let's go to gear. Let's go to mod 22 because it's there, I think. We need to have the rings. Glowing restoration ring, now it gives the outgoing healing up to maximum 5%. So that is fixed. And a flask of potency. This was actually a bug from the languages thing, which I introduced in the 0.15.0. This thing was actually translated. The original English translation was different than the button before the translation. That's why I didn't really pick up. I did change it again to what it was before the languages stuff, but that means that if you made a new save game after the languages update, then you have to probably save the file again after selecting, but then it should load properly. At least I checked and it did. Then the item levels of exalted weapons. I think they are 850 and 800 or something like that by heart. So that now does something. Then the death tracker. I have a couple things to say about that. So I updated this. This wasn't working anymore because, well, basically Yoshi has been working on changing some stuff there and I didn't update it for that. Now it's working, and it actually, apart from checking forum messages, it also finds Reddit posts. For example, let me see, one of these, I think this one was a Reddit post. So you can go here and then click on this, and then you will actually go to Reddit where you can see the message. But yeah, this is now working again. I think it gave some kind of error. Well, this is a beautiful post. So it gave some kind of error, couldn't load the messages because basically the API changed. Having said that, I do want to point out that Yoshi is really working on some really nice tools, and this death tracker is working based on the death tracker that he has on there. So if we go to his tools page, which you can see here as well, then you see that he has actually a couple of tools here. He has a content hub where you can see all kinds of content, so Reddit posts, you can see ARC, news messages, you can see YouTube videos. So for a lot of content creators, they are also advertised here, like it also was before on the Uncensored website. So also Twitch, people who are on Twitch streaming are in here. You can see a lot. They have the death tracker, which is the same content as the death tracker and the character builder, but here you can have a preview, you can also click on it to go there, etc, etc. It's also in here. And then he also has an auction data tool, which is really cool. And once this is fully complete, and maybe there's also an API, this is really a game changer, because this actually shows you, if you click on this, it actually tracks the price of certain items. And what Yoshi is doing here is using cloud computing in order to gather this data, but cloud computing is not free. I actually already became a patron of him, and if you want to support him, you can do it by clicking on this link. So that was the death tracker, the artifacts, Dragonbone Blades and Draconic Essence. Yeah, there were a lot of artifacts that had the wrong combined ratings. So I updated the ones that were fixed. I think there's still one that is not properly fixed. I just made it the same as in the game. Then the mod 24 gear, of course. So that is the big next thing. Everything from mod 24 is on preview. And now if you want, you can also check it out in the character builder. So if you select mod 24 here, you select all, then you can see all of the items that will be added in mod 24 as they are now on preview. Of course, this is subject to change. They might change stuff. But if you want to see what items you can get, you can read everything here without having to make an account that can go into a preview, log in there, and then see all the items. You can filter whatever you want. If you want to only have the items for a cleric, for example, you will only see them here. If you want to have certain slots, you can just see everything here. It has the equip bonuses, it has the stats, item level, also set bonuses. For example, the weapons have a set bonus. You can see that in here. Everything is in here. So if you want, you can just scroll through everything here. Then Rime, Fire, Frost, Salamander. I actually added a lot of mounts that I have been missing in the last couple of months. A lot of mounts were added in battle passes, in adventures, in other stuff, the log boxes that I didn't cover properly. A lot of stuff added. Same for companions, Joy Dance of Lyra and other companions that were added, Little White and whatever. Lots of stuff, a lot of mythic companions as well, account-wide, that I noticed were added. I added them as well. So it should be relatively complete again. If I'm still missing something, let me know. Send me a tooltip and I will add it as well. Then weapon artifact modifications. There was an issue with that. If you had an old weapon equipped, not had, like let's say a Fey longbow or something, then on the enchantments page you can select a class feature here, for example Forte, and if you then save and load, then this item will actually not be properly set, and you would have to select it again to set it again. So basically the load function would not load the stats that were connected to this field, and probably also this field that was also not connected. So I updated that. So now if you load a save that uses an old weapon and these artifact class features, then it will be loaded properly. Then Master Boon procs, they were also lost. So if you select a Master Boon, like Bloodlust or something, then you would expect to be able to proc it in combat procs here. You will get this option here, and depending on which Master Boon you select, if you have Focused Retaliation, you get a proc for the one that is applicable for your build. And yeah, this didn't work anymore, so this was always hidden. You could show it by doing this, of course, and then it's always here. You could proc it, that was no problem, but it just didn't link to when you select these boons. Basically, they had a different name because of the languages feature. So yeah, that did add some issues. Talking about the French language version, there were also some issues if you set it to the French language, because certain things are translated to exactly the same name. There was some enhancement in there. I'm not sure. Companion. Let me actually set it to French. Then under companion enhancements, let me see, what was it? I think one of these, precision or something. This was the same as accuracy or something like that. And that's why it didn't give a text. So I fixed that. And then the other thing, the other thing that I did is the passive mount power. So monture, pouvoir passif. They actually have some mount powers that are exactly the same name, which is very annoying. You have the same thing which did the same name. Actually, there's something else that is exactly the same. That's so annoying. Anyway, these are actually different, but yeah, they didn't show different. They didn't work at all. You actually see here's also precision, and it also doesn't work. Oh my God. Yeah. So there might still be some issues here. I need to check with Molecule if everything is now covered, and looking at this, I don't think it is. So there probably will be another version to fix that as well. Also, not all the translations to French are in there yet, mostly also because they're not in the game yet. So that will still come at a later moment. And the last item, I already said it. So the combat log analyzer now automatically detects Tiamat runs. Tiamat was of course updated recently. Let's put this back to English. Save. So if we go to the combat log analyzer, let me load a file. So here we have a combat log of Master Tiamat. I got it from Esther. So if you load it, you can see that there were 3 runs in here. The last one, I clicked the button apparently. There were 3 runs. I don't know if the last one was finished. Maybe it's still ended, but you can see that in the first run they got up until phase 4, and in the second run they got all the way to phase 7. So I split it up in as many phases as I could detect in the combat log. The first phase is the thrash mobs at the start, the second phase is the summoners, then Severin, then the cleric phase where you have to protect the clerics, then you have the claws phase, then you have the heads phase which is 6, and then you have the chest. And you can see of course for each phase how much HP you have to knock down. I think the heads phase is by far the most, of course, because you have 5 heads. Yeah, by far the most. 650 million approximately. So yeah, that's also now in there, and it will automatically detect it. Once again, just connect it to do live data, live server, or load your combat log file afterwards. But if you connect it to the live server, make sure to also enable the combat log in the game, and then this will automatically detect where your file is and start adding the data here. And then if you go into one of the big new trials or dungeons, they will have a parser. And of course I will also do that for future content that's still to come out. So that is all that I did, quite a lot. Let me know what you think in the comments. I've been away for a while, I'm sorry for that. Very busy life with of course my daughter at the moment. She's gonna have her birthday tomorrow. So I'll see some happy birthdays in the comments if you guys got this far. And I'll see you in the next video. If you have any remarks on this video or any suggestions on what to investigate next, feel free to leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.